Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West
Many
Texas.
of Pilot's proposed disposal wells are less than 1,000 feet from a Midland water well. I'm here today asking the Commission to recognize Midland's right to standing.
The City of Midland has entered a settlement with Pilot Water Solutions. Coming up in just a few minutes, we have more details on this developing story. Thanks for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW, and thanks for joining us live on the CBS7 YouTube. I'm Lauren Munt with your top headlines from today. We're starting with tracking crime, where an Odessa man has been arrested and accused of setting multiple fires. According to the Odessa Police Department, the arsonist is 59-year-old Marlon Stewart. On New Year's Day, OPD and Odessa Fire Rescue responded to several fires in the area of 5th and Sam Houston. At 5:30 a.m., they received another call where a fire had charred the back of the building and burned an AT&T box on the 400 block of North Lee. Based on the facts of the investigation, Stewart was arrested for arson and taken to the Ector County Jail. There are no reports of any injuries, and more charges are anticipated. And turning now to a developing story out of Midland, where the city has entered a settlement with Pilot Water Solutions. This comes after the city initially asked the Texas Railroad Commission to weigh in on saltwater disposal permits. In documents submitted to the RRC, the city said some of the 18 disposal permits near T-Bar Ranch could put water quality in danger. Today, the city, along with the Pilot Water Solutions, asked the RRC to dismiss that hearing and withdraw that protest. A spokesperson from the RRC says the commission intends to sign it. The city and Pilot have agreed to allow 4 disposal wells adjacent to the aquifer. This will generate some revenue for the city of Midland.
But here's the question. Is any revenue a pittance compared to what's at risk? And that's our water source. We shouldn't have been in this predicament to begin with because we never should have approved a right-of-way license where our water is.
According to Councilman Scott Dufford, the settlement also includes environmental safeguards or older wells already on the property that the city has no control over, saying in part, quote, "The pilot wells will be some of the safest, most high-profile, and most scrutinized saltwater disposal wells in the Permian Basin, if not the whole United States, because of their proximity to one of Midland's water sources and the safety measures put into place as a result of this agreement." To see Dufford's full statement, you can go to our website, cbs7.com. And now it's a story you'll only see right here on CBS7. On the last week of 2023, one West Texan had her 100th birthday right here in Odessa. Wilma Lemon was born and raised in Nebraska, but moved to the Permian Basin to be with her family. Now, years later, her family and friends celebrated her life and look forward to what's to come.
Happy birthday, dear Grandma.
Even at the age of 100, Wilma was up and having a blast at her birthday party, surrounded by her kids, nephews, nieces, grandkids, and more. She said she never thought she would be celebrating her 100th birthday in West Texas.
Oh, it's just wonderful. My dear friend of 65 is here.
And even though she's surrounded by friends and family, there's still some people that Wilma wishes were still around, including her firstborn. Wilma's daughter Gina died after battling lung cancer, and that then led to brain cancer. But now she keeps her daughter's memories alive, referring to her as her angel.
She made me cry, make me laugh, and love me. Gave me 3 wonderful grandchildren. I couldn't say. There isn't enough words to describe her.
Happy 100th birthday, Wilma. We hope to see you next year for your 101st. And it's time to take a look at weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller. Tom, it's really chilly out there today. Is it going to get any warmer anytime soon?
Well, it is rather chilly out there. It's a chilly evening. We're starting to see the clouds try to break up a little bit across the area. Let's go ahead and take a look at the West Texas view of the satellite and radar as that storm system is finally starting to move out to the east. It's going to take a lot of the clouds with it here coming up in the evening overnight hours. As we look outside, we are seeing the community Christmas tree still lit up out there as temperatures are at 44 degrees in Odessa, 42 in Midland, over towards the Miller National Air and Spaceport. So you can see things are starting to become a little chilly out there across the area. Thankfully, there's not a lot of breeze. We had some gustier winds early on the Marfa Plateau, starting to swing around to the west to northwest wind as that system moves out, and that's going to dry things out and give us a break. Still going to be a little bit chilly tomorrow, but not quite as cold as today. Then another storm system is bringing another chance of rain in our forecast coming up late Thursday.
Thank you, Tom. We're now only a couple days away from the Sandhills Stock Show and Rodeo at the Ector County Coliseum. Organizers have been getting ready for this annual tradition for a while now. Not only that, but the rodeo athletes are gearing up for their competitions. That includes saddle bronc rider Brody Kress, who's looking forward to his time in Odessa. In fact, Kress won the 2023 saddle bronc riding at the Sandhills last year. He's hoping for another great season.
Odessa is an amazing rodeo. They do a great job. They're putting together a good rodeo, bringing in good stock of Benny Butler. So to be able to get the ball rolling with the win right away, that just kind of helps propel your winter. The winter is a huge important time, especially when you're talking about the world standings and making a push for the finals. So it's awesome to be able to get to a rodeo of that caliber and be able to win that amount of prize money.
And like we said earlier, organizers of the Rodeo and Stock Show have been working tirelessly to ensure that the Sandhills Stock Show and Rodeo goes off without a hitch.
Top contenders from the sport of rodeo will be coming in to Odessa to compete. It's exciting because, the same people who compete at the National Finals Rodeo, which is the Super Bowl of rodeo, come here to Odessa, and you can see that kind of action here in your backyard.
For information about tickets, schedules, and a lot more, just log into CBS7.com and search Sandhills. And CBS7 First Alert News will be broadcasting live from the Sandhills Stock Show and Rodeo. Our crew will be out there this Thursday for CBS7 News at 5 and 6 on the Ector County Coliseum grounds. And across Texas, a jackpot-winning ticket for the Lotto Texas drawing was bought at H-E-B in Austin. It's worth an estimated $34 million. The winning quick pick ticket matched all of the 6 numbers on the numbers drawn. The cash value option was selected at the time of purchase, and the buyer will receive $20 million before taxes. The prize has not yet been claimed, and the winner has 180 days to make that claim. And if you stayed up late last night, you might have seen the Texas Longhorns almost advance to the national championship. Number 3 Texas took on number 2 Washington in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Those two great offenses went back and forth really early on. The game was tied 21-21 at halftime. However, Washington then owned the third quarter, and Texas barely even had the ball. The Longhorns trailed by 13 with about 8 minutes left in the game, but then they made a furious comeback with 15 seconds left. Then they got deep in Washington territory, just needing a touchdown to win. The Longhorns ran 4 plays from the Huskies' 12-yard line, but none of them scored. Washington escaped with a 37-31 win. And a record 300,000 migrants were processed at the U.S. southern border last month, fueling an already intense debate over immigration policy. CBS News has learned the White House is open to immigration reforms, including an authority to expel migrants and suspend asylum law in exchange for aid for Ukraine. This weekend, Texas Governor Greg Abbott arranged for 350 asylum seekers to be flown to Illinois. After landing in Rockford, they boarded buses to Chicago. Chicago's mayor and New York City's mayor have been in contact over recent weeks. New York's mayor says that no one could ignore this problem.
Our country has always been a country of immigrants, a country of rules and regulations, and we will utilize those rules and regulations to stop what he's doing to cities in America. New York is a city where we fight bullies, and others are joining us.
House Speaker Mike Johnson will visit the border city of Eagle Pass, Texas tomorrow with a contingent of more than 60 GOP lawmakers. The group will tour border facilities and meet with the state, local, and federal law enforcement to be briefed on the situation. And the Biden administration is now asking the U.S. Supreme Court to let the U.S. Border Patrol cut razor wire at the southern border. Last year, Texas sued to halt the wire removal, claiming that it is a destruction of state property. A federal appeals court recently ordered Border Patrol officials to stop cutting the wire while the case went through the court. That led to the Justice Department to file an emergency application for the High Court to overturn that decision. According to court documents, the Biden administration says agents previously cut wire to bring medical aid to migrants and take migrants illegally crossing the border into custody. Across the nation now, where Iowa's Republican voters will gather in less than 2 weeks to caucus for their presidential candidates. Former President Donald Trump is the clear front runner, leaving the other candidates to battle for second place.
I don't want to waste my vote and vote for him and then something happened to him. It's a tough call.
I don't think he would actually care about policies and helping the nation and the people of this country. I think it would just be him getting back at the people that he feels did him wrong.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has a slight lead over UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, and Vivek Ramaswamy is a distant fourth with 7%. Now you're looking at today's top headlines, shown here in real time with real viewers on CBS7.com. You can see all of these stories and more just by downloading our app or visiting our website, CBS7.com. And still ahead, the devastation from Japan's deadly earthquake continues. Next on CBS 7 News at 9, we have the details of a plane collision linked to relief efforts. Now continuing coverage on a story from overseas. At least 5 people are dead in Japan after a devastating collision involving a Coast Guard aircraft and a passenger plane at Tokyo's Haneda Airport. The Coast Guard aircraft was carrying relief supplies to quake victims in Japan's northwest coast. The plane had just arrived from northern Japan with 379 passengers and crew on board when it collided with the Japanese Coast Guard aircraft. All of the people on the board were able to escape to safety, but 5 members of the Japanese Coast Guard crew were killed. With the threat of tsunami now over, Japan's nuclear authorities said its reactors are all fine, but people are still in shock.
It just started very slowly, and everybody kind of left it off. You know, they thought, this is kind of humorous, you know, on New Year's Day, and then it's just a violent shaking. I mean, violent shaking.
At least 55 people were killed after the powerful 7.6 magnitude earthquake hit on Monday.
Well, we are looking at a great evening out there. A little on the chilly side, but overall pretty quiet weather. Looks like that's going to continue into Wednesday, but it's not going to last all that long. We'll talk about all that. Early look at the weekends up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, let's look outside on our live iCam in Odessa once again, seeing the clouds trying to break up a little bit from southwest to northeast as we're starting to see that storm system move away from the area. And as that happens, we'll see the clearing skies, but it is a little chilly out there as temperatures have remained into the low 40s for most of the evening. Back part of all this little shower activity trying to scoot in around portions of the Snyder area, moving off to the east and southeast, but that's about it. Even the clouds are really starting to break up across the area, and no more rain is expected as this system does push off to the east, but bringing better rains across portions of east and southeast Texas. Ridge of high pressure back here across the Four Corners area is going to sweep off to the east and northeast, and as that happens, we are going to be looking at nice conditions in our forecast. Temperatures a little bit warmer, but then our attention turns to this storm system here across the Pacific Northwest, the West Coast. That's going to be affecting our weather, it looks like, quite a bit as we move in towards Thursday night into Friday with more clouds, possibility of more showers in our forecast. But you can see the bulk of the rain is over towards portions of central and east Texas right now, as we do have this system yet to move in, and it does move across overnight tonight into the morning hours, clearing skies associated with it. Across the state right now, temperatures again are rather cold out there. We're looking at 42 across the Permian Basin. You can see some of that drier air bringing in even colder stuff here across the Panhandle into the South Plains at the present time. It's only along the Texas Gulf Coast we're seeing mild conditions. West Texas Futurecast again showing the clearing skies in our forecast. So for tomorrow, waking up to lots of sunshine, mix of high clouds and sun for the afternoon hours and into the evening. And that will continue into the overnight hours. So it does look like more low clouds ahead of that next system that's going to start to affect our weather again coming up on Tuesday with a few showers. So again, the rest of tonight, again, things will be quiet out there across the area into the lower 30s. It looks like mid-50s tomorrow. The bigger changes coming up on Thursday again. A little bit better shot at some rain coming in the forecast late on Thursday, early into Friday, but clearing out just in time for the weekend.
Still ahead, if you're looking for an excuse to adopt a furry friend in the new year, we've got a great reason for you. Next in your health headlines on CBS 7 News at 9. If your New Year's resolution includes exercising more, eating healthier, or improving your mental health, you may be able to find motivation to stick with your goals from a four-legged friend. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how pets can help you keep healthy resolutions.
It's 2024, and if you're looking to make a healthy change in the new year, a furry friend may be just what you need.
There's a variety of ways that pets can play a role in helping people through the holidays, throughout the year.
Stephanie Filer with Shelter Animals Count says pets can keep you motivated to move, whether it's taking a dog or a cat on a walk outside or playing in the backyard. Staying active can benefit you both. Filer says animals can also boost mental health and allow for social connection, not only to your pet, but others you may meet when you're out.
You can connect with dog owners, you can connect with your neighbors more, and it just really helps reduce isolation, especially for seniors or people that are homebound.
If your resolution is to eat healthier, there are many foods which are good for you and your pet. Just research which fruits, veggies, and proteins are safe.
It can be everything from carrots and green beans and apples, and then, fish and chicken, and even for cats, they enjoy small amounts of salmon and eggs and chicken and turkey and cheese and all kinds of things.
Finally, Filer says saving an animal can help you feel good in the new year.
Whether it's adoption or fostering on a temporary basis, bringing an animal in that is in need of a good home is something that can absolutely give you a sense of pride and increase your mental health as well.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says studies have shown there are several health benefits to having a pet, including decreased blood pressure, low cholesterol, and triglyceride levels. They can help with feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. And after a year of explosive growth in the U.S. use of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity experts warn the United States is facing increasing hacking threats from criminals and foreign governments in 2024. It's a crucial election year. On CBS Mornings, Sean Henry, a former FBI executive assistant director and now securities chief at CrowdStrike, said that AI has been able to overcome some online security systems, gaining access into corporate networks, and it's also being used to spread misinformation through the creation of videos, audio, and text files that seem believable.
People always have to look at the source of information. You can't just look at something and accept it as true. You've got to verify where it came from. Who's telling the story? What is their motivation? And can you verify it through multiple sources?
On a positive note, he adds that he does not think AI is a major threat to voting machines, mostly because the U.S. election system is not centralized and has wide variations state to state on the ways people vote. And still ahead, I think it's about time that I introduce myself. Get to know me next here on CBS 7 News at 9. Okay, Tom, before we go, I think it's about time that I formally introduce myself to our viewers. But you and I have actually known each other for quite a while.
Yes.
I've worked here at CBS7 for a little over a year and a half, but all behind the scenes. And now I'm here. I'm born and raised in West Texas. I'm a graduate of Lee High School, and I'm also a proud UTPB Falcon. So no Falcons up there. I started at CBS7 as an intern in the summer of 2022, working in sports with Jacob Brandenburg. And I absolutely fell in love with CBS7, so I pretty much begged them to hire me full-time. Once working here full-time, I've had the opportunity to produce The 9 and work as part of our digital content team. I've had the joy of taking a lot of these photos of my incredible coworkers out in the field and on the desk. Look, there you are, Tom. You might have seen some of these photos on the CBS7 Facebook, and I'm excited to be here at 9. I can't wait to continue to just serve the Permian Basin here at CBS7, take more pictures, and I'm really excited.
Well,
this was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you're here at 9 o'clock, okay? You're going to be real easy to work with.
Oh, good.
We'll have a good time here at 9 o'clock, okay?
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm very excited for the rest of this week and more to come. Speaking of the rest of this week, Tom.
Yes.
What is the weather looking like?
You said it was a little chilly.
It's very cold. I had to go get my sweater today.
A lot of people have been saying that today. We saw temperatures stay into the 40s for most of the day. Tomorrow, a little more sunshine than cloud cover, so we're going to warm up just a little bit.
Okay.
But there's another system on the way late on Thursday into Friday, so that's going to cloud things up. I think put a little bit better chance of some rain showers in our forecast Tuesday afternoon into the evening hours, and that'll knock temperatures down a little bit. But here's the good news. We're going to see nice conditions for the first full weekend of 2024.
That'll be great. Just hang out outside a little bit. I need to get my patio swept up.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for watching us for CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news coming up tonight on CBS7 News at 10. Thanks.